Greetings once again, mages. Duuz-Diz-Din, back again with Fairy Tale, the 100 Years Quest. Previously, the leader of Gold Owl, Duke Bora Bora, reveals his attention to Grey, Rogue, Wendy, and the Exceed, as he is the creator of Athena, somehow still alive after 100 years. And his claim is that the only thing that makes Athena imperfect, despite being his most powerful creation, is that she's not as human as his newer creation. Meanwhile, Athena has confronted Natsu, Happy, Lucy, Sting, and Yukino. And despite her powerful laser blast bringing down the cave that they were in, Sting was able to consume her white-hot laser. Meanwhile, Minerva has managed to free Urza and Jalal from the weird alchemy picture that they were trapped in, only to be confronted by the Signario sisters with the ability to transmute the world around them, shifting the very landscape to a world of endless imagination, with the members of Sabretooth and Fairy Tale coming face to face with some of the most powerful alchemists out there, if not the most powerful alchemists out there, with the ability to draw upon the power of other objects, thus not depleting their own energy reserves. The question is, how will our heroes confront something that they only just barely understand, let alone know how to counter? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, chapter 132, Dream Death World. Is that what they call it? The Dream Death World? And thus stand the Signario sisters, in their landscape changed to their whims, looking demented yet dreamlike all at the same time. Jalal, Urza, and Minerva are aghast at the oddities that surround them. Minerva starts to question, what is? Jalal states, we were in a cabin just a moment ago. Where Urza questions, have we been sent to another world? Russo leans in, smiling, what a nice reaction. Oh, and I told you, this is alchemy, and I transmuted the world. She says it so matter-of-factly. Jalal questions, world transmutation? Urza adds, so you made this place. Rosso joyously states, I have good taste, don't I? A psychopop amusement park. Okay. Psychopop. Is that what it's called? I've seen, dolls and creatures made in this kind of imagery, like the bear with the bloody claws and stuff like that, or like Monokuma from Danganronpa. That's the vibe it gives off. Rosso states, I call it Dream Death World. Yeah, very Danganronpa. Minerva simply says, a ridiculous name. Rosso says, by the way, the world's transmuted by my big sis Annie here but Annie tells her, quit shattering. Yeah, it's just like, don't give away everything. Urza questions, but why the change in scenery? Rosso begins to conjure something with her ability, saying, you still don't get it. This is my world, made by me, for me. In short, a figure appears behind Minerva, Jalal, and Urza, as a massive, demented-looking bear appears behind them with spiked fists. It goes in for the punch on the trio, as Jalal states, the doll, and Urza states, it's moving? As the bear goes in for the punch. Oh, we don't really see what happens. Rosso's still conjuring up a storm, though, saying, I am totally a god. Scratch that, I'm a cutie god. Someone's a little full of themselves. We see that our heroes are dodging the bear's fury of blows, while Minerva smiles, questioning, so what if your doll moves? Minerva unleashes her magic, using Iragdo, or Vanish, to completely shred the bear to pieces. Rosso looks on, saying, well, I'll be. But she then uses her power yet again, saying, up next is a dancing flower show. Plants start to grow from the ground, and we see, they're Nakajimas! Oh no, of course. We had managed to go without really actually seeing him in the Fairy Tale manga, at least for a good long while. Nakajimas. The very unnerving plants surround Jalal and Urza. And even Jalal looks on saying, how unsettling. But Urza is undeterred, going into her Flame Empress armor and just cutting down all of the plants, thankfully. But Rocio's not done yet, saying, alright, a merry-go-round. And then, That's so creepy looking. Horses? Question mark. Start to be conjured from the ground below them, with Minerva saying, "What?" in shock, as the mechanical horses, I can't tell if there's several of them, or it's just one that's moving very fast, but they loop around Urza, Jalal, and Minerva, and they just go faster and faster and faster. Oh, and then they start going in for the kicks. Kicking at Minerva, kicking at Urza. But Jalal, summoning his magic, tells the two girls, "Both of you, split up." And then he uses Meteor to charge in on one of them, utterly decimating the horses, with Jalal landing in a cool pose before the two girls. I don't know why he told them to split up, though. I mean, maybe to dodge their attacks and get out of their range? I don't know. It's just like, I mean, he took care of them. Why did they need to split up? But Rocio isn't deterred by this, saying, "Wow, they're pretty good." While Annie, ever unimpressed, says, "Perhaps they do live up to their fame as wizards." But Rocio dismisses this, saying, "What? But they're from around where God Serena says he's the best on the continent." Man, they really do not think of God Serena highly. But Annie says, "So he says. He's a goddamn shame of a man." Damn. Like, what? What was it that made God Serena seem so pathetic in their eyes? And man, Annie has a look that could kill, saying, "Our master and Athena were wizards to begin with. Don't underestimate them too much, Rocio." Ooh, there you go. I do like Annie and the fact that she takes things deadly serious. I guess to balance it out, Rocio has to be the playful one. As Rocio says, "Alright, then let's try this next." And then she conjures up balloons that surround Jalal, Urza, and Minerva. Oh, and Rocio simply says, "Balloon bombs!" And they all explode all around Minerva, Jalal, and Urza. Thankfully, they only take some light damage, simply being knocked back. Urza full-on hits the ground. Jalal manages to just barely stand his ground, while Minerva says, "Enough joking. You made the world. You think you can defeat one with dominion over space such as I?" And in an instant, Minerva switches places with Annie right behind Rocio. and Annie just simply just like looks behind her and sees Jalal and Urza and goes, "Oh?" And before Rocio can react, she says, "Huh?" She and Sister Annie switch places, and suddenly Minerva just strikes at Rocio's midsection with a pretty big blow. Man, can't wait to see that in the anime because it looked like her titty just went. But despite the impact, Rocio still smiled, much to Minerva's shock. Oh, and the Rocio that Minerva hit just turns into a balloon animal, like one of those wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men, and just deflates, much to Minerva's shock as she looks up saying, "What?" And the Annie who was in front of Jalal and Urza also deflates, with Jalal questioning, "Balloons?" And Urza questions as well, "They're fakes?" And suddenly I'm assuming Rocio's voice comes out of nowhere saying, "Still haven't realized, have you?" Much to the shock of Jalal, Urza, and Minerva. Oh! Suddenly, a massive Rocio towers over Minerva as she says, "In my world, I am a god. Oh, I mean a cutie god." As the world continues to shift around everyone, and as Minerva looks on in terror and says, "This can't be," she's suddenly crushed underfoot by Rocio, with Urza crying out for Minerva, while Rocio looks down with a sinister sneer. Dang. Man, this took up the whole entire chapter, but damn. I'm impressed, but we're definitely having the moment of showing just how insane the abilities of alchemists can be, especially because they take elements from the world around them and transmute them into things. But there has to be some kind of catch, some kind of giveaway, some kind of weakness. I doubt Mashima would have all this without having some kind of back door for our heroes to overcome this. I'm just not sure what it could be. And I'm still not completely clear on what the Signario sisters' abilities actually are. From the looks of things, as far as I can tell, Annie can transmute any object into something else. But that feels like as far as it goes. While Rocio's able to control any object that her sister transmogrified. That's the impression I get. Now, feel free to correct me if that's not the case. So that would be a hell of a weakness, though. And it's more of a situation where it's just like, as long as you take down any, Rocio becomes a little bit helpless. Because she's made these devices. She even made that weird camera that trapped Urza and Jalal before. So maybe it's something like any transmogrifies the object, and Rocio can give them special ability. And it wouldn't be the first time that everyone had to kind of overcome something that seemed overpowered. But it tends to be the way they overcome it that really kind of justifies how things go down. And will this end up being a situation of, oh, they just put more magical power or just hit it harder? That's more Natsu's thing. But I mean, Urza has just powered through the most ridiculous of situations. And I doubt Minerva's dead. I mean, she'd easily be able to switch with some rubble or another object in the area. You know, again, master of space. I'm just not sure how they overcome this in the end. Because I'm not seeing a weakness. We're mostly just seeing how powerful it is and how tricky it is. But I am glad they weren't dumb enough to just leave themselves exposed for anything to happen. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. What do you think the weakness is to this ability? How will our heroes manage to overcome it? Or will it take some outside force to help them work through it? I want to hear from you. Also remember to subscribe for more of the 100 Years Quest, and until then, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.